This is the Burroughs family crest. The name originated from Burrows and is now Burroughs. It was an English name, and the meaning of the word Burroughs is someone who lives by a hill or an ancient burial zone, which is also a burrow, so that's probably where we got our name. Thank you. Bye-bye. How do I stop? Were there any special items in the house that you remember?
Okay. There was a big white plastic replica of an Excedrin pill on my dad's desk.
What's an Excedrin pill?
Excedrin pill is a painkiller like ibuprofen. Excedrin. And I'm just thinking of things I can remember. And in the yard we had this big, huge scallop shell that the birds... Oh, that you didn't want that in the... You wanted it in the house, right?
In the yard, doesn't matter. In your property.
There's like this big scallop shell. It was like, I don't know, 2.5 feet across out in the yard that the birds, we filled with water and the birds took a bath in.
Are there any physical characteristics that run in your family?
Big noses. On my mom's side, there's bad joints. Like shoulders, knees, hips. But nobody's had a hip replacement or knee replacement yet. I guess that's kind of coming. And let's see, a lot of curly hair. Brown eyes. A lot of brown eyes. Huge feet.
So that's all the questions. Thank you for answering those questions.
You're welcome.
And bye-bye. Love
Bye.
you.
Do you know of any infamous or famous people in our family?
I think in the long distant past, on my mother's side, there were a lot of captains and doctors and early governor type people in the colonies. I'm a little unsure of their history. And on the Iannicelli side, your grandfather was, your great-grandfather was the squash champion of the world for 7 years in a row. I mean, he won that title. Those are the larger splashes, I think.
What do you know of our surname, Iannicelli?
I don't know too much. I'm trying to remember, maybe I'll remember by the end of this interview, the name of the town. Avellino was where the Iannicellis came from. They emigrated from Italy somewhere probably in the 20s or 30s. But Avellino is in between Naples and Sicily. So it's in southern Italy. And that's really all I know about that side of things.
Do you know if that surname has a popular crest that they use?
Not that I know of.
Are there any traditions within the family?
Traditions... Traditions in terms of, like, celebrations, or just... I mean, we've always been a family that celebrated Christmas in a big way. And I'm trying to think. Probably not. It's a funny mix. My dad was an only child and didn't have many relatives and wasn't really family oriented. There didn't seem to be any big family gatherings. on that side of the family. And yeah, I think that's probably traditions.
Are there any traditional jobs that our family took?
Well, I would say that there was a lot of making, designing, and engineering in the most recent family. On my own side, on the Krause side, and between my own parents, I'm thinking my grandfather Krause was a mechanical engineer, invented various plumbing things. I have a brother. All three of my brothers make things with their hands, but one is a mechanical engineer and an electrical engineer. Another can make anything. And the third one invents things, and has invented just being in situations where he's had to come up with solutions for things, he's invented them. And my grandfather, Teal, was a designer. My dad was a painter, and I also worked as a designer. So there's a fair amount of art and designing in the back, in that background.
Well, thank you.
So me and my brother are Dalton and Quinn Burroughs. Our parents are Angela Iannicelli and Eric Burroughs. Angela Iannicelli's parents are Kathy Krause and Tom Iannicelli. Eric's parents are Ruth and Richard Burroughs. And Kathy's parents is Glenn Krause, and her mother is Matilda Teal. We also have great parents from the Mayflower, which was one of the first ships to come over to America from England.